Mr. Leopold Bloom ate with relish the
Radio Bloomsday.
Ineluctable modality of the visible, at least that, if no more, thought through my eyes. Signatures of all things I'm here to read, sea spawn and sea wrack, the nearing tide, that rusty boot, snot green, blue silver, rust, coloured signs, limits of the diaphane. But, he adds, in bodies. Then he was aware of them bodies before of them coloured. How? By knocking his sconce against them, sure. Go easy. Bald he was and a millionaire. Maestro di color che sano. Limit of the diaphane in? Why in? Diaphane? Adiaphane. If you can put your 5 fingers through it, it is a gate. If not, a door. Shut your eyes and see. Stephen closed his eyes to hear his boots crush crackling wrack and shells. You are walking through it howsomever. I am, a stride at a time, a very short space of time through very short times of space. 5, 6, the Nachinanda. Exactly. And that is the ineluctable modality of the audible.
He wore a long, unsleeved garment of recently flayed oxhide, reaching to the knees in a loose kilt, and this was bound about his middle by a girdle of plaited straw and rushes. Beneath this he wore trews of deerskin, roughly stitched with gut. His nether extremities were encased in high balbriggan buskins dyed in lichen purple, the feet being shod with brogues of salted cowhide, laced with the windpipe of the same beast. From his girdle hung a row of sea stones, which jangled at every movement of his portentous frame, and on these were graven with rude yet striking art the tribal images of many Irish heroes and heroines of antiquity: Cuchulainn, Conn of 100 battles, Niall of 9 hostages, Brian of Kincora, the Ardrey Malachi, Art McMurrogh, Shane O'Neill, Father John Murphy, Owen Rowe, Patrick Sarsfield, Red Hugh O'Donnell, Red Jim McDermott, Sockard Owen O'Growney, Michael Dwyer, Francie Higgins, Henry Joy McCracken, Goliath, Horace Wheatley, Thomas Conniff, Peg Woofington, the village blacksmith, Captain Moonlight, Captain Boycott, Dante Alighieri, Christopher Columbus, S. Fursa, S. Brendan, Marshall McMahon, Charlemagne, Theobald Wolfe Tone, the mother of the Maccabees, the last of the Mohicans, the Rose of Castile, the man for Galway, the man that broke the bank at Monte Carlo, the man in the Gap, the woman who didn't, Benjamin Franklin, Napoleon Bonaparte, John L. Sullivan, Cleopatra, Savernine Deelish, Julius Caesar, Paracelsus, Sir Thomas Lipton, William Tell, Michelangelo Hayes, Mohammed, the Bride of Lammermoor, Peter the Hermit, Peter the Packer, Dark Rosaline, Patrick W. Shakespeare, Brian Confucius, Murtaugh Gutenberg, Patricio Velasquez, Captain Nemo, Tristan and Isolde, the first Prince of Wales, Thomas Cook and Son, the Bold Soldier Boy, Ara Napoge, Dick Turpin, Ludwig Beethoven, the Colleen Bawn, Wadler Healy, Angus the Culdee, Dolly Mount, Sidney Parade, Ben Houth, Valentine Greatrakes, Adam and Eve, Arthur Wellesley, Boss Crocker, Herodotus, Jack the Giant Killer, Gautama Buddha, Lady Godiva, the Lily of Killarney, Balor of the Evil Eye, the Queen of Sheba, Aki Nagel, Joe Nagel, Alessandro Volta, Jeremiah O'Donovan Rossa, Don Philip O'Sullivan Bear.
Mr. Leopold Bloom ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and fowls. He liked thick giblet soup, nutty gizzards, a stuffed roast heart, liver slices fried with crust crumbs, fried hen cods roes. Most of all, he liked grilled mutton kidneys, which gave to his palate a fine tang of faintly scented urine. Kidneys were in his mind as he moved about the kitchen softly, writing her breakfast things on the humpy tray. Gelid light and air were in the kitchen, but out of doors, gentle summer morning everywhere. Made him feel a bit peckish. The coals were reddening.
Another slice of bread and butter. 3, 4. Right. She didn't like her plate full. Right.
He turned from the tray, lifted the kettle off the hob and set it sideways on the fire. It sat there, dull and squat, its spout stuck out.
Cup of tea soon. Good. Mouth dry.
The cat walked stiffly round a leg of the table, with tail on high. Meow.
Oh, there you are,
Mr. Bloom said, turning from the fire. The cat mewed in answer and stalked again stiffly around a leg of the table, mewing.
Just how she stalks over my writing table. Brrr, scratch my head, brrr.
Mr. Bloom watched curiously, kindly, the lithe black form.
Clean to see. The gloss of her sleek hide, the white button under the butt of her tail, the green flashing eyes.
He bent down to her, his hands on his knees.
Milk for the pussins,
he said. Meow, the cat cried.
They called him stupid. They understand what we say better than we understand them. She understands all she wants to. Vindictive, too. Cruel. Her nature. Curious, mice never squeal. Seem to like it.
Alone. The noon's grey-golden meshes make all night a veil. The shore lamps in the sleeping lake laburnum tendrils trail. The sly reeds whisper to the night a name, her name, and all my soul is a delight, a swoon of shame.